Hey everybody, it's H3 Bomb. Welcome to a project that I've been working on. This is the very first ever episode of the Lion Tribe. Now that's a name that I came up with all by my lonesome. Do you like it? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you even care? Feel free to leave a comment below the video. The reason I chose the word tribe instead of pride, I understand that lion pride go together, but I have another use for the word pride later on. But tribe is mentioned in the Bible. It's used in reference to the 12 tribes of Israel, and it's used when talking about the lion of the tribe of Judah. If you recall, in my last video, I quoted this one verse in the Bible, Proverbs 28:1, and it's kind of the inspiration for this name. The verse says, "The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion." Now, in regards to the word tribe, I belong to the West Virginia lion tribe. I'd like to consider those who are interested in protecting children, in saving children, as part of my tribe. Doesn't matter whether you're in West Virginia or not. You're my people if you're interested in protecting them, saving them, keeping them well provided for, and shielding them from government indoctrination. To kick things off, I'd like to talk about a current event that the whole nation is anxious to hear news on, the SCOTUS ruling on Roe v. Wade. I'm actually filming this on Thursday. By the time I actually air this, it's probably going to be after we hear news. I hope, but we'll see. I'm going to start by reading from an article that I read on Newsweek by Khalida Rahman. I hope I pronounced that name right. But I'm going to quote from that article. I don't remember the date on it, but I read it on Monday evening. It says, title, "When is Roe v. Wade decision? Supreme Court ruling expected on these days." It goes on to say, "The nation is eagerly awaiting the Supreme Court's opinion in a Mississippi abortion case that could overturn Roe v. Wade. But when exactly the decision will come is not yet clear. The ruling in Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization is expected before the High Court recesses for the summer in late June. The case that could overturn the court's landmark 1973 ruling in Roe, which legalized abortion nationwide, involves a dispute over a Mississippi law that would ban most abortions after the 15th week of pregnancy." I'm going to pause there just to make things clear. When I read or say the word abortion, I am sometimes, not on purpose, using the euphemism that pro-aborts use when they're actually referencing unborn child murder. Because that's all the word abortion is. It's a euphemism. I like to tell things like it is when it comes to this stuff. Abortion is murder. All right, let me continue quoting from the article. "Abortion rights activists have been bracing for Roe's fall after a leaked draft opinion published by Politico in May showed a conservative majority of justices appeared ready to use the case to undo almost 5 decades of precedent." Pause. I'm fine with that precedent being overturned and undone. There's been far too many lives already slaughtered due to this idiotic court ruling, this faux right to baby murder. There never has been a constitutional right to murder your child. The article does mention that the ruling could be announced either Tuesday or Thursday of this week. They say it could be postponed until just before the summer recess. All right. Then the article goes on to say, quote, "If the court does overturn Roe, the legal status of abortion would be left for individual states to decide. Researchers say that without Roe, abortion will probably become illegal in about half of the country, primarily in southern and midwestern states. Pause. Praise God if that happens. And may it be banned in many other states. I will be praying that it does, and I hope many of you do too. To include the atheist pro-lifers, cross your fingers, cross your toes, wink your eyes, I don't know. Do whatever you guys do. Last week, sorry, let me acknowledge, I'm going to continue quoting from the article and finish up. Last week, Vice President Kamala Harris hosted a roundtable with experts to discuss the implications of the court possibly striking down Roe. And that's the end of the quote from the article that I wanted to include. It does say, go on to talk about VP Harris and about how she was quoted in one of her recent speeches. She mentioned things like if Roe is overturned, that contraceptives would not be as available to women, that trans and gay rights are in danger. This is just scare tactic stuff. It's propagandizing to stoke up her side, the extreme left, and the people who she wants to be more active in protests. I'm curious if my vice president is in particular support of the violent protests going on at pregnancy resource centers and pro-life centers around the nation. Of course, not everywhere, but you know. Well, this isn't to say that Americans aren't currently debating those other issues that she was mentioning. I don't foresee SCOTUS doing away with contraceptive availability or these special perceived rights that trans and gay individuals supposedly have that are different than what other Americans have. I don't foresee that. Enough about that, though. One of the most famous accusations that the pro-life / anti-abortion crowd get is that they only care about children until they're born. They don't care about women either. They are forced birthers. These are just plain old smear tactics, which are nothing to fear. And here's why. Those who are committed to protecting the life of children care about people at all stages of life, and the statistics bear this out. I personally believe in supporting state and local orphanages. The Children's Home Society of West Virginia is one. That's an example I wanted to bring out. And I'm going to plug multiple organizations in this video, and I fully intend to plug other organizations in future videos because I want people to know about these organizations. I want them to know them by name and how to get in touch with these organizations so they can support them. So families who are thinking about adoption or foster care, or who want just to help orphans through giving of time, resources, please contact the Children's Home Society of West Virginia. A little bit about them. According to the website, they have, quote, 13 primary locations and 8 emergency child shelters. Okay, end quote. But their main office is located at 1422 Kanawha Boulevard East, P.O. Box 2942, Charleston, West Virginia, 25330. Phone number is 304-346-0795. Email is childrenshomesociety@childhswv.org. I definitely believe also in supporting care pregnancy centers, also known as pregnancy resource centers. For those in West Virginia, there's the Central West Virginia Center for Pregnancy Care. It's located at 8 Meadows Street, Buchanan, West Virginia, 26201. Sorry if you're from that area of West Virginia. If I mispronounced that town, you can correct me. Anyways, that organization's phone number, they have two actually. Phone number 304-473-1122 or 1-877-472-1122. You can also go to their website and connect via email that way. The website is cwvcpc.com. Another one. This one is in the Eastern Panhandle region. It's got 2 offices so far. It's called Obamacare. It's actually got one in Martinsburg, West Virginia, and the other one is actually in Winchester, Virginia. And then Obamacare is spelled A-B-B-A-C-A-R-E. That is one word. That one's located at 200 Weems, W-E-E-M-S, Lane in Winchester, Virginia. That's the main location, I believe, where they started. Their phone number, 540-665-9660. Some people might get a cringy feeling when I'm offering their addresses, their phone numbers, because I get it. In the current climate, we've got some of these protesters who are protesting pro-life centers, pregnancy resource centers. They're wanting to destroy property and act fools. But that shouldn't be reason to fear. That should honestly be more of a reason to embolden pro-lifers, embolden people who want to help women and the unborn, because it tells us we're doing something right. We're on the right track. When people are willing to go to that length to protect their foe, or I don't mean to put that one in quotes, to protect their faux right to murder children, when they're willing to go to that length, you know you're on the right track. The thing is, pro-lifers, we believe in the sanctity of unborn life. We, who trust that women are strongest and they're most empowered when they're shown that actual empowerment comes from one of their innate capabilities that only they can do. Only women can give birth. We don't have to cower in fear. I'll tell you what, if there is one righteous cause to be united in our efforts, that would be being pro-life and telling women the truth. So these pregnancy resource centers, they're no joke. They offer many free resources and services, actually. I was just reading briefly through Obamacare the other day. From my understanding, certain things at these pregnancy resource centers, like medical testing, that aren't free, they are likely covered by whichever state's Medicaid. I could be wrong about that, but go ahead and contact these organizations if you have any questions. I'm certain that these kinds of companies could always use extra hands. They could always use monetary donations, word of mouth sharing, media promotions, which is what I've chosen to do today. Feel free to go to obamacare.org. All right, now I'm going to switch gears to a rather different but also very important topic. Bear with me, because I'm offering crucial components, insights, and resources in protecting children, as will always be my aim in these videos. Apologize, my voice feels a little worn out. Maybe that's proof that I talk a little too much in my daily life. All right, I'm going to read from an article which is a petition from writethis.org. Now, this is a campaign called Protect Children, Not Porn. This is a campaign by a company called Exodus Cry. All right, so title of this article, Protect Children, Not Porn, Require Age Verification and End Child Exposure to Adult Content. This petition is addressed to U.S. Congress, President Biden, VP Harris, Subcommittee on Children and Families, Subcommittee on Privacy, Technology and Law, Xavier Becerra, Secretary of Department of HHS, Sundar Pichai, Google CEO, I don't even know if I said that name right, Parag Agrawal, CEO of Twitter, Tim Cook, Apple CEO. And it asks, I'm quoting from the article, why should you sign? Millions of children today are a few clicks away from the most graphic and violent sex acts imaginable, and their early exposure to porn can produce life-altering consequences. Big porn and big tech platforms which host pornographic content have shown reckless disregard for kids, and it's time to unite in calling for effective online safeguards to protect children, not porn. Sign the petition and join this movement to save children from a lifetime of porn addiction, harmful brain rewiring, and dangerous sexual behavior. What we're calling for: all websites hosting pornographic content must require their site visitors to verify their age with a government-issued ID validated by third-party platform. All internet accessing devices sold must come with safety filters turned on that adults can disable. Lawmakers must pass legislation requiring effective safeguards be put in place to protect children from porn exposure online. At this part of the article, it goes into an anecdotal story talking about an 8-year-old who got a hold of his mom's phone when she was away from it for about 45 minutes. And just out of plain curiosity, he started Googling, searching whatever. I don't think it ever says exactly what he was searching for per this story, but it's pretty graphic. The story says that when his mom went back to her phone, the stuff that she discovered that was searched, that he ended up digging into, was really graphic stuff. Stuff that no 8-year-old should be seeing. I'm sure traumatized that kid, whether he intended to do it or not. He probably got a little more than what he bargained for. All right, I'm going to quote from the article again. Stories like this were once rare, but kids today are being raised on hardcore porn. The average age of porn exposure is now 11. A recent estimate of U.S. youths indicated that 84% of males and 57% of females ages 14 to 18 have been exposed to pornography. New research from security technology companies suggests that even young children under age 10 now account for 22% of online porn consumption among minors. And for many kids, they didn't go looking for porn, it came looking for them. I'm going to stop there. What do they mean it came looking for them? Obviously, ads, random clicks, random pop-ups, just out of curiosity, kids probably clicking on things that they didn't know what they were accessing, certain websites. One study, returning to the article, one study revealed that 62% of 11 to 13-year-olds who reported having seen porn described their viewing as mostly unintentional. What's even more alarming is that many researchers and child protection experts view early exposure to porn as a form of child abuse. That's enlightening. Did y'all know that? Science has proven porn use causes the erosion of willpower and shrinkage in the part of the brain involved with decision making, motivation, and academic performance. It's not uncommon for 12-year-olds to admit they can't stop watching porn. For a child, this could profoundly alter the trajectory of their entire life. Ain't that the truth? All right. The article goes on to say, what exactly are kids seeing? One study revealed that 45% of Pornhub scenes included at least one act of physical aggression, such as gagging, slapping, or choking. Scenes depicting child sexual abuse, incest, and gang rape are incredibly easy to find. Sometimes the porn itself is real sexual crime on film. With very little regulation on PornTube sites where users can upload whatever they want, it's virtually impossible to tell which videos are not criminal. Folks, I urge you to check out this petition. Give strong consideration into signing it. This is an issue that I guarantee affects more people, more men specifically, men mostly, I should say, but women as well, and probably just in growing numbers day by day. It is a sickness. It becomes an unbearable sickness. It's an addiction. And people who crave it, they have a hard time cutting it out of their lives. I do plan on reading from some actual research, from actual peer-reviewed articles in the near future on an upcoming video. I discovered a website that has lots of resources on explaining all the mental, the psychological damage that, and the social and emotional damage that it can cause to children who become addicted to pornography. So, real quick, I mentioned Exodus Cry. I want to quote from that website briefly before I wrap it up. So, on exoduscry.com/toxic porn, it says, pornography. Adult sex offenders, including child molesters and rapists, have been shown to have significantly higher rates of hardcore porn use than non-offenders. The website's obviously making the connection that children who become addicted to the hardcore stuff, it could lead to them actually acting out the things that they're seeing. Porn is rife with the rape, trafficking, and exploitation of men, women, and children, and propagates a culture of sexual objectification. Research has shown that pornography can become an effective marketing vehicle, driving men to purchase sex, and often those they purchase are victims of trafficking and exploitation. So 4 things that the article mentions are sometimes found on pornographic sites. The crime of filmed rape and non-consensual acts, the toxin of child exposure, the toxin of promoting abuse, and the crime of coercing performers. Ladies and gentlemen, the time to act is long past due. There's work to be done. There are children that need saving and protecting. You know this, and I'm asking you to answer this call. This is a rally cry for kids. Do them and myself a favor, please. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, my Rumble channel. Please share, and when you do share any of my content, please include the hashtag #RallyCryForKids. More importantly, share the information that I told you about these organizations. And that's all I have to say. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and remember to be bold as lions.